What is the best case if you just picked a fight with the wrong person that you've witnessed? 1. I once saw a bunch of rowdy college boys come into a bar where I was having lunch. They walked all over the bar area being loud and obnoxious until they set their sights on a lone older man sitting at the end of the bar all by himself. They began to friendly pester the man while he was drinking his beer. He told them to go away and leave him alone or else. The biggest guy of the group said, "Or else what?" The old man slid one foot off the bar rail and turned in his bar stool while reaching in his shirt pocket and taking the mouth guard out of his pocket and into his mouth and said, "Your move. Let's find out." They decided to leave and went elsewhere. 2. I had a judo teacher, Steve Reardon. He was my Mr. Miyagi, and also my HS English teacher, and about 60 years old at the time. For judo, we used the same practice area as the HS wrestling team. The wrestling coach, Jim, was just a mean person and would hassle Steve all the time about inane things. Steve would brush it off. Jim was younger, fit, and a former college wrestler. Steve always taught that we would only use judo in self-defense. Judo, the gentle way in judo, the art of hitting someone with a planet. One day I was talking with Steve in an empty hallway when Jim came up and started yelling at him. Something stupid about practice schedules. Then Jim started poking Steve in the chest, aggressively. Then he physically two-hand pushed Steve. I've never seen Steve move so fast. He grabbed Jim's arm, wrapped him up for a major outside hip throw. Epincenage. If I remember, Jim's whole body was up at our shoulder level before being slammed to the floor and you could hear the crunch and the air rush out of him when he was hit with a planet. Jim never did bug Steve again. 3. Back in the early 80s I was the manager of a rowdy nightclub. I started as a bouncer and 6 months later was the manager. On one of my nights off, I went on a dinner date and after dinner my date wanted to go to the club. I managed to dance. While out on the dance floor, a big dude, about my size, 6 feet 2 inches, 230 pounds, started intentionally bumping into me and elbowing me, and when I looked at him he started smacking his fist into his hand, effectively challenging me to a fight. I asked my date to give me a minute, went up to the main door and got my 2 bouncers and brought them back to the guy and told my bouncers to remove that guy from the club. That dumbass stood there like a slack-jawed fool and then my guys escorted him out. I'm not sure that I would have reacted the same way if I was not on a date.